Okay, we're back. Hopefully it doesn't give us any problems while we're streaming. If it does, it could most definitely be because I haven't updated or downloaded the new updates for this game. I think it came out today. So if it continues to mess up, because my internet's working just fine, but if it continues to mess up, it'll probably have to do something with the update that I haven't downloaded. If that's the case, we'll probably just hold off for like 30 minutes to an hour, let the game download, or I'm sorry, update. If not, then we can do it tomorrow, but I will be really quickly going over. Yeah, I'll be really quickly going over each boss, and then you can see the previous video. I posted it on YouTube. You can see the previous video how it implements. There were a couple things that were different. The bosses kind of went off script a little bit, so I will talk about that in mid game. I'll talk about where they differed. Let's really quickly go over again the amulets. The Void Blade's very important for characters like Kiana, the one who rides on that giant wolf, and Menelaus. I'll go over it when that happens. Will of Rostam greatly increases your attacks, your sword attacks, standard attacks. Arslan's Glory is very good because, you know, full health. I mean, if you don't have full health, I mean, since you're doing no hit, if you get hit, you lose, so you need that regardless. Oh man, if Evil Eye, if they allowed Evil Eye, this would have gone a lot smoother. And it's only one. It only takes up one slot, but we'll deal with it. Yeah, we won't do a lot of parries because parries are very, you know, risky. Shield of Mithra is the only defense amulet that I use. It's really good for characters like Orod, both Varums. So yeah, it's good. I would use it. For Royal Stars, you will see like 60 to 70% of my attacks will be in the air because adding 4 Royal Stars with Will of Rostam and Arslan's Glory greatly impacts or greatly increases when you're attacking in the air. So the bigger bosses, not like excluding Varum and Menelaus, the bigger bosses would be great for using 4 Royal Stars. IR Amulet is very important because you'll be needing to use at least one Author Surge in each boss fight. So it's very important that you also make up any Author you've lost for the next boss fight. The Prosperity Bird is just, it was a pre-order bonus. It doesn't do anything for the boss fights, so I just leave it there because why not? Now these 4 you get from playing the new update for the puzzles, the challenges. I'm not going to use them because some people might not have gotten them yet, and so if I use them, you won't be able to know what to do, or they won't be much use for you, so I'm not going to use them at all. And also, I don't know how well they are. I have the description there, but I don't know how much benefit, how beneficial it is for me. And right off the bat, before we start, also go to your system, and I think it's in options. You can go to difficulty, and honestly, man, just put everything on very easy. I don't know if it'll actually apply to the boss rush for no hit. I haven't really tested the difference between, like, for example, no hit and immortal difficulty, but if it does, just go ahead and put it on very easy. You're not going to get a higher bonus, or you're not going to get more rewards by increasing the difficulty level up to an immortal. In fact, it's probably detrimental because if you're trying to do a record kind of situation where you can get the highest medal for each boss, then you probably don't want to do the immortal difficulty. So it's best to just do it at very easy. I know a lot of people are going to say that, oh, I mean, You're taking the easy way route. Yeah, this took me a month, and I did it on very easy. I don't think anyone wants to do that. I mean, that's basically saying, hey, go do it again, but without using amulets or author surges. You know, it's ridiculous. Just put it on very easy. You just want the award. You just want to do the skill, and this is already hard as it is, even with the script. So just put it on very easy. Don't be crazy. Okay. Author surges. When I first start, the first two author surges I'm gonna use is Arash's Ray and Vayu's Wave. Now we're gonna start with Jalandar. We're gonna do no hit. Now the first thing that's gonna happen is when you start the fight, you want to approach the boss. Jalandar has 2 hits that he does. He mixes it. They're random. It's not a set thing. He either hits you with his hand or he strikes his tail on the ground. If you use all the amulets that I recommend, then you should be able to, once he does that attack, be able to continue to phase 2. This should take about 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds if you do it in a timely manner. So we're going to do this. Once we get into phase 2, I'll press pause and I'll go over it again. So, and also I'm doing boss revenge because if I do get hit accidentally, I don't have to start over from the very beginning. We can just start at the boss that beat us. So we're going to start, run up to him. He's going to do 2 different hits. That one. Again, for big bosses, stay in the air. And then, very important that you have Shield of Mithra. Okay, now what's going to happen is Jalandar is going to land on your left side for some reason, and then he's going to jump over to the right side and summon an orb. So since he's landing on the left side, go ahead and do a bunch of damages. He actually won't do any attacks on the left side. I don't know why he lands there. But once he flies over to the right side, he's going to summon that purple orb. So you want to jump up, hit him at the same time you're destroying the orb. So you want to do that. So we're going to go ahead and continue game. Now he's going to jump over, and he's going to summon an orb, and he's going to go into phase 3. This is where I like to use my Opera Surge. Okay, I think difficulty is a little different, or I'm probably using different amulets because usually it should be done by now. Okay. Now generally, let me check my the amulet should be fine. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't matter. Now, generally, when you're doing the no-hit boss rush, everything that you obtained in the previous fight transfers on to the next fight. But because these aren't back to back, they're one at a time, you lose all the author that you've built up in the previous fight. Because generally, when I start the fight with Kiana, I use the Athra, I use the level 2, so the Arash's Ray. I use it on Kiana when she shows up behind me. But since we don't have Athra from the previous fight, we're just going to have to do basic attacks. If you use your Athra at the very beginning and do all that damage, it'll immediately take you to the next phase. And I'll go over that once we get there, but let's go ahead and do the no-hit. So she'll start by showing up behind us. She'll try and catch us by surprise. You're just gonna slide out of the way. So you're gonna see red eyes. And this is where I use the Auth Research, but since we don't have that, we're gonna have to just work with, what we've got. Normally, if you use the Athra, it would be done by now, like you would be in the next phase, but since we don't have it, I'm gonna have to do all these other attacks. But we're already in phase 2. Okay, now a lot of people have a problem with this section. It's the first part, the first time she takes you into this realm, it's very basic, because all you got to do is recognize the pattern. She hits one at a time, so she hits, takes like a millisecond of a break, and then hits again. There are 3 different types of attacks that she does. Okay, the blue one is the real version. She's going to be the one who strikes from above. We'll make it easier, I'm going to call the blue strike overhead. The other 2 are yellow attacks. Those are the blockable ones. The one that when she's hitting high, I'm going to say high, and then when she's hitting on below at the feet level, I'm going to say low. So the overhead attack, you dodge, but she will still be there, so you can hit her twice before the next attack happens. So the first time you do this, or the first phase, or the first time you're in that realm, it's random. I didn't bother to figure out when she does each strike, so it's just, I mean, it's pretty slow too, so you can kind of, you don't need to memorize. And it's good to not anticipate, because anticipating gets you killed in this game. It got me killed plenty of times, so just, watch out for that. So just notice, just look out for what I'm doing. So she's gonna start, block, and then I hit her twice, block, and then I'll do a few more damages. I kind of, when there is this lull, when she's on break for more than half a second, that usually means that she's done attacking you, and then you'll be sent back to the regular place. Really, the only thing you want to look out for with Kiana is that realm. The other attacks, like we're about to go, they're random. They're not that difficult, depending on it. At this point, use your Author Surge. Now, there is a kind of like a glitch with this game. When you use your Author Surge, the camera like zooms in on Sargon, so you won't be able to see the attacks. So generally, I wait until Kiana does the attack, and once the attack is over with, that's when I use the Author Surge, so that glitch doesn't mess me up. So that's what's going to happen, is she's going to do some random hit, wait till the attack is done, and then I'll use the Author Surge. I'm going to use the Arash's Ray, so I'm just letting you know. Okay, so I usually set up there just in case I don't feel good about the block. I'm going to go ahead and use the Author Surge, and I'm going to go ahead and use the other one in case I feel like it doesn't matter, because we're in the next phase anyways. Okay, before I forget, this one's a little bit trickier. It's definitely a lot faster. The pattern, though, okay, so it's a lot trickier, but it's a little bit easier because this one is pattern based. So when Kiana does the overhead drop, if that's her first attack, so little background knowledge is now she moves on to 2 hits at a time. So she'll hit twice, take like a millisecond break, and then hit twice, take a break, twice. So if she does an overhead strike first, the blue one, the second move is always a low strike, blockable low strike. So do not try and dodge that. You have to block it or jump over it. No, I don't recommend jumping. I just say block it. So if it's blue, if it's overhead, the second move is always going to be low strike, the yellow one. And then the other pattern, there's only 2 patterns. The other pattern is she starts with a high hit, the yellow blockable one, the high hit, and then it'll be random. Either the next one's going to be low or it's going to be an overhead. Those are the 2 patterns. So either it's blue, so overhead, or high yellow. Those are the 2 patterns you want to look out for. With the blue, the second hit is always a low hit, a low yellow blockable hit. If the other pattern is applied to where it's a yellow high hit, the second hit is random. It can either be an overhead or a low strike. You'll never see her do, like, for example, 2 overheads at the same time. You will see 2 lows or 2 highs maybe back to back, but for the most part there are only 2 patterns, and so really focus on what I'm going to do. If you don't feel comfortable doing this yet, like probably start at the rookie or any other level other than no hit, so you kind of get used to it, but this is how it's supposed to look. Block, 1, 2, block, 1, 2, block, 1, 2. And that's the end. Now you can pretty much end this last part with an author surge. You can just go ahead and just waste it, and that's the end. All right. Now with Ishtaha, things are going to be a little bit different because I don't have Arash's Ray because my Author Surge... well, actually, I think I can do it. I just have to do a lot of damage quickly. Alright. Well, we'll see. The first thing Ishtaha is going to do is she's going to try and bite you. So when I start, immediately I set up a clone of myself. And I jump up in the air and attack its snout, its mouth. And then I'm moving a little bit, shifting a little bit to the left side. So when she tries to land on top of me, I just teleport back to my clone, and I just keep doing I do more hits, and that should end the first phase. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. And that's what I'm talking about. The blue metal is higher than the gold. So it's time-based. So just if you're gonna do the challenge, if you're gonna make it harder for yourself, you're not gonna get a good medal. So I'm just gonna let you know. So again, set clone, she attacks, teleport to the clone. Let's go ahead and skip this. So clone, 1, 2, 3, teleport, 1, 2, and then do a bunch of air attacks, and that should send you into phase 2. Now, phase 2, the first thing she does, well, the first thing you want to do is jump up in the air, hit 3 times, so square, 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 and then her eyes turn yellow. That is the counter. That does a lot of damage, so you just, heads up, that's always the first move. That's what she's going to do. So, 1, 2, 3. Jump, dash, block. Oh, sweet. Okay, perfect. We have enough for Arash's Ray. So the tail takes the same amount of damage as if it was her mouth. So when you that's the other thing is after the yellow eyes, she's always going to have her tail in the center of the map, and she's going to shoot darts at you. So the second her tail pops up, go ahead and shoot her with Arash's Ray, the level 2 Author Surge, and then you block the first 3 darts and then jump over the rest. Don't risk it because they're going to be like 4 back to back. So ignore those, jump, dash over it, and then get right under her. Hit her a few times, and I'll take you to the last phase, phase 3. So she's about to stick her tail out. I'm going to shoot it with an arrow. So 1, 2, 3, jump over, hit her, and this should take her into phase 3. Now, with Ishtaha, it is very important that you, for this third wave, that you stay directly underneath her. So Ishtaha, like I've mentioned before, Ishtaha is a very pattern-based boss. Where you stand determines her next attack. So if you are in a corner, if you're like the far end of the corner touching the wall, she's probably going to do the thing where she does the dragon breath across the screen. If you're about a quarter of the way away from the wall, then she will try to bite you, swipe you with her tail, and bite you again. And that is very risky. The bite has a huge damage range. So the only way to get past that is that you have to dash at the perfect moment. At the very last second, if you do it too late, she hits you. If you do it too early, she will home onto your last known position after you do a dash, and she'll bite you. So best bet is to not even do that. So immediately after the tail goes down, you hit her a couple more times on the mouth, and that should bring you into phase 3. If you stand directly under her, she will summon those orbs, which is what we want. So she's kind of screeching at me. She's gonna take like 2 seconds of like standing completely still. So you hit her you hit her as many times as you can, and then you're gonna stay under her the whole time. You're gonna pocket one of those orbs. So here's how it's gonna look. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Pocket this one. Generally, that's not supposed to happen. I think the damage amount is different with the boss rush and boss revenge, or they could probably just updated it and made it just a little bit more challenging. But generally, after you pocket it and you hit her a couple times in the air, that should be the end of it. But yeah, that's Ejdah's fight. One thing you may have noticed is that I pocketed the purple orb, and I did not use it. When you're doing boss rush, like I've mentioned before, everything that you've acquired in the previous boss fight transfers over to the next boss fight. So the orb that I collected from Ejdah gets passed over to the next fight, which is Orod. Now Orod, the first thing Orod is going to do is he's going to try and grab you. So he's going to dash towards you and grab you, double jump over Orod, and then while you're still in the air, go ahead and drop that orb on top of Orod, and that should do some damage. The next attack he's going to do when you're standing, you got to stand next to him. So once you drop that orb, hit him a couple of times, and then what he's going to do is going to do that swiping thing where he jumps up so he swipes the ground, he jumps up in the air, and then he hits the floor, and then 2 waves go side to side. You want to just watch out for that. Jump over the wave that's coming towards you, and then hit him a few times. This should take you into phase 2. Since I don't have the orb with me, I'm just going to have to improvise, but that's the way you want to do it, is you want to hit him with the orb after he tries to grab you. Another thing that's important is that Orod, just like Ejdah, is very location based. So if you're like really close to him, he's probably going to do the thing where he spins his anchor around him and he has like a cloud or like a half circle around him. So you don't want to be like neck and neck with the guy, but you want to be relatively close, because when you're at a close range, to gain some distance between you and him, he will throw his anchor. So he'll step back and throw his anchor, and I don't think double jump works because it's too high, but at that point, you can duck at the very beginning when he throws it, you are able to slide under it without getting hit. So you wanna close the gap. Just be careful. This is like 70 or 80% of the time accurate. Sometimes he goes off script, and I think you can. No, in the video I uploaded, he was actually pretty on script. So yeah. Okay, so phase 1, remember, he's gonna try and grab me. Let's go, no hit. So he's gonna grab me, so double jump over him. And then this is where you hit him with that orb. Slide, double jump, 1, 2. Duck. Okay. Now the next thing he's going to do, or the next thing you want to do, is close the gap. So first, you're going the second the cutscene's over, slide and use Vayu's wave, because what we want is to push him to the end of the corner of the map. So close the distance. I slide and then I immediately hit Vayu's wave, so he doesn't use anything. There are some times where You do that, but he's a little quicker, so he throws his anchor. You just jump over it, because the second he comes into contact with the Vayu wave, it cancels the attack. I don't know if it'll work, if it'll happen, but if it does, just stick to the plan, okay? If he does end up throwing the anchor, just double jump over it. You're most likely going to be able to dodge it. And not only that, but once he lands on the floor and then the waves hit him, it cancels the anchor attack anyways. So yeah, just slide, Vayu wave, and then go from there. So now I set up a clone because there'll be some times where he'll change his attack up. He might not do it. He may or may not do it this time. But in case he changes up his attack, does it differently than what I want him to, I immediately teleport to the other side of the map. What I'm going to do right now as soon as I land is I'm going to close the gap. So what I want him to do is I want him to throw the anchor at me so I can slide under him and get a couple of hits in. So here we go. So watch out for that anchor, it's coming back. And he's going to do that circle move. And after 2 hits on the first go before he goes green like Super Saiyan, he does 2 of these different types of attacks. So he threw his anchor and then he did the circle thing. Now what he's going to do is he's going to jump in the center and then spin his anchor around. So that's what his plan is. So I'm going to hit him twice. Double jump, dash, pocket. Double jump again, dash, pocket. And then hit him and then step back. Now I don't want to be hugging the wall, but I do want to be a little close to the wall because what he's going to do, depending on the gap between you guys, what he's going to do is he's most likely going to try and grab you. He's going to dash and then grab you like he did the very first move that he does at the very beginning of the fight. He's going to try and grab you. You jump over him and then you do 2 sets of hits. Okay, so 2 sets of hits is the combo. You hit square, square, and then RT. So you don't point a direction. You just hit square, square, RT. So he does 2 hits, dashes back, 2 hits, dashes back. So when I say 2 sets, I mean 2 of those. So hit, hit, dash, hit, hit, dash. And then by then, he should go to his next move. Like 90% of the time, what he's going to do is he's going to do the overhead anchor hit. That is blockable. Should he change his attack and do something different, that's why we have that teleporting clone. If you see the red eyes at the very beginning and that's not supposed to happen, just immediately teleport to that clone. But what I want him to do right now is I want him to try and dash and grab me. So hopefully he does that. Oh shit. See? Yeah, generally what he was supposed to do, dash, and so he's at the corner of the map. Now he's doing something different, so we just gotta play by ear. Yeah, that's okay. I was probably gonna have to do it again anyways because I want you guys to follow the script, and he went off script. So we're gonna do it again. Do the exact same thing at the very beginning that I've mentioned. Double jump. You'll see. I won't waste too much time. Throw that orb from Ishtaha. Double jump. Stay in the air. Like I said, 4 Royal Stars does a lot of damage. And then dash forward and use your auto search. Now go ahead and set up a clone right here for your just in case. Slide 1. And then go ahead and hit him with a wave. I could get him into phase 3, but I don't want to because I would change the placement up and everything. So 1, 2, double jump, dash, pocket. 1, 2, dash, pocket. 3 sets. And then step back. Now he should be able to grab me. Damn, okay. Motherfucker's changing things up. We'll give it one more go. It should work. So 1, 2, 1, 2, slide. Okay. Hit him with that Opera Surge. Oh shit. That's what happens when you anticipate. Don't worry. And this is why I don't want to do the boss rush, because if that happened, I had to start all the way back from the first boss, and I don't have patience for that anymore. Now that I finished it, I don't want to do it again. So slide. Okay. And jump, hit him twice. Double jump, dash, pocket, 3 sets of hits. 1, 2, 3, and then dash back. Now, I think I'm in a good spot. Yep. 2 sets. Block. 1, 2, 3, and then teleport back. I'm gonna set another one just in case. Now, this one's different. He might jump back in the center. I don't know why yeah, it's been 2 hits. So for the third, when he turns green, he might do 2 hits or 3 hits and then jump to the center. Just be careful. That's why I put that clone up, just in case he does something different. A lot of the times at the gap that he's in, he's gonna do 2 things. He's either gonna jump in the center, skip the 3rd hit, and then jump to the center, or he is going to do the thing where he spins, hits both anchors on the ground, and then kind of pulls himself to you. I generally I don't block that, or I don't parry that first, hit. I step back, and then when he dashes forward towards you, that's the moment I block. And then at that point, if you have Shield of Mithril, just go crazy. He's got like almost nothing left, so just finish him off at that point. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. There we go. Go ahead and finish him off. Okay, that's all right. Because after the 3rd hit, if he hasn't hit you by the 3rd hit, yeah, it doesn't matter. And that's that. Now, with Menelaus, okay, I am actually not going to do no hit. And the reason is because Menelaus, he is both the easiest boss to fight and the hardest boss to fight when it comes to no hit damage. He's the easiest because his attacks are very simple, and you can easily cheese him or, work your way around it. He's also the hardest because the second phase, when he's showering you with the arrows, you have to use the Soul of Gilgamesh. That's the level 3 Author Surge where you basically turn into Super Saiyan, where you have the blue orb, you become exalted. And what you do is you stand in one of the corners and you press forward dash as fast as you can. This does not guarantee a victory. I've lost a lot. I've lost boss rush a lot solely because of this, of the Menelaus fight. Because the Soul of Gilgamesh only covers you like 50% of the time. Sometimes an arrow gets lucky and hits you before you spam the dash button, and so shit happens. But if you don't have Soul of Gilgamesh, then your chances go to like 1%. I've tried calculating, or I've tried catching a pattern with these arrows, but they're random. They have no rhyme. There is no script to the arrows. It just happens. Same thing with like Varum's like lines, the tic-tac-toe move. You don't know where the opening is. It's random. It could be anywhere. Same thing with these arrows. So now you notice I did get no hit without using it. That was that 1%. All I did was just crouch down, and surprisingly, the arrows did not hit me. Yeah, that only happens like 1% of the time. go ahead and just use Soul of Gilgamesh, because that takes your chances of survival from 1% to 50%. So I'm not going to waste my time waiting for that moment, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to probably put him on Warrior, because I think that's the same amount of damage that you would have with no hit. So there are two routes you can go in phase 1. Either you can play the safe route, which I do, and I just cheese it. And that's what I'm talking about, the Void Blade, those little like air waves. That's where that comes useful, because it'll take a small chunk of its health, little at a time, but it's safe. Every time he shoots you with an arrow, you can just double jump over it. You can hit him with the Void Blade and then shoot him with an arrow, and then just keep doing that until he goes to phase 2. Or you can be risky, and there are a lot of YouTubers that do this, where you stand at a certain length away from Menelaus. He shoots one of the unblockable arrows. You slide under him. You do 2 sets of attacks, so you hit him a bunch of times, throw him in the air, do an air combo, and then you dash away before he parries. You do that twice, and he immediately goes into phase 2. The problem with that, and the reason why I don't use it, is because the timing on that arrow strike has to be pinpoint. If you do too early, the end of the arrow will hit you and you will die. If you do too late, you die. You gotta be really skilled to do that. It's only 2 times. I'll probably show both, but I don't like to take that risk, because it got to a point where I just hated the first bosses, like the first 3 bosses. I just couldn't stand doing them anymore, because I just hated doing them. So if you don't want that to happen, just play it safe. Go to the other end of the corner of the map. He doesn't move unless you close the gap and get close to him if he's not getting hit. So keep the gap and just hit him with those Void Blades. I'll show you both methods so you can figure out what you want to do. I'm going to do my way first. I'm going to cheese it. Okay, this is going to take a little bit longer, but patience is a virtue. Don't care. So I'm going to dash, hit him, shoot him with the arrow, double jump. When he taunts you, go ahead and hit him extra. And you're just going to keep doing this until he goes into phase 2. Now I'll put a cap on how many times you can shoot an arrow, because you definitely need to save your arrows. I generally do not use my arrows until I get to Menelaus, and when I do, I waste max 10 arrows. So it should be after this fight with Menelaus, you should still have 20 arrows left if you've upgraded the maximum amount of arrows you can have in your quiver. I want to have 20, because there will be a point when you're fighting Dariush or Ascended Vardam where you need to spend as much time in the air as you possibly can. So I need to keep my arrows. So I've already passed 15, so I'm just gonna hit him with the Void Blades. And he should, there we go. Now after this cutscene is done, this is the moment where you summon Soul of Gilgamesh, and then you spam the forward dash button. So you just keep spamming the dash button, and you want to pick a corner, because half of the arrows, as you can see, are hitting outside of the wall, or they hit the wall, and the other half will be aiming at you. But if you're spamming the dash button, chances are you can probably miss it. So this is the other way. But since I don't have Soul of Gilgamesh, this slide dash doesn't do anything for me. Now I'm going to do the other method. This is the more risky method, but it's a lot faster, and if you're trying to go for time, then you can use this one. I don't recommend it, but you can. So you get to the square. You see the square on the floor. You want to be on the right side, the yellow, and you stay there. He's going to shoot you with these unblockable arrows. I think he might have done a little too early, so I might get hit. But what you want to do is stay at the edge of the square. When he shoots the arrow, slide under him and shoot him up in the air. Do a juggle combo, and then dash back. Do not pursue for too long because you don't want him to parry, because if he parries, he'll jump to the other side of the map. So 1, 2, 3, dash back. Back to the edge. Oh crap. I forgot to do the combo. But that's what it is. You do 2 of those and he'll go into the second phase. So I'm gonna do it again. 1, 2, 3, dash back. Dash, there we go. 1, 2, 3. And this should be the end. Oh. There you go, phase 2. Now, good thing I'm on Warrior and not on no hit, because this would take forever. So what I did that time, I got lucky. I literally just stood in the center and then just crouched. And surprisingly, no arrows hit me. Like I said, it's random. So it doesn't matter, you can't calculate where they will fall, you just have to be like ready. Like I said, you definitely need Soul of Gilgamesh, because you can't do it. Your chances decrease immensely, so you gotta have Soul of Gilgamesh. Alright, phase 3, you just go to the end of the map. Go to the end of the map, he will come to you. Alright? So so when he throws that chakram, as long as you don't jump in the air, that's never going to hit you. That's going to always fly over your head. He's going to run at me, and when you see that white sparkle, that's a blockable move. So you can block that. Same thing, do not pursue him for too long, or else he'll parry. We don't want him to parry, because that'll mess up the whole script. Sorry, I had pizza, so it's just... indigestion. Alright. Okay, block, 1, 2, throw him in the air, 1, 2, 3, dash back. Now, he'll do that, he's gonna run up me, and he's either gonna do 2 things. He's either gonna trick me. He's either gonna shoot me with a red unblockable arrow, or he's gonna shoot me twice with those yellow arrows, the blockable ones. Generally in my experience, so if he does the arrows, the yellow arrows, the blockable ones, the second wave of arrows miss. I've had moments where they actually didn't, and I was able to block them. Regardless, always block the second one as if it's going to hit you, because you never know. So, crouch under it. The arrows actually do not home. If you're crouching, you're too low. The arrows cannot home any lower than waist level, so you'll be directly under it. And then he's going to do this again. 1, 2, 3. And then he's going to go, oh, no, never mind. So, block, block. I think it's also, yeah, because it's on Warrior. If I change the settings, or if I think it might have been the settings. But generally, he gives you 2 opportunities for you to juggle him in the air, and then he goes to phase 3, or phase 4, the final phase. And then he'll give you another 2 opportunities to hit, and that should be the end of it. So he should be going... Okay. Okay, so I guess we're doing 4. So now he should be going to phase 5, the final phase. Same thing, ignore that. Now this hit, if you're doing no hit, this doesn't end your streak. This isn't a kill hit. This is to deplete your health. So if you mess up and you're doing no hit and he's throwing this combo at you, you're not going to die. This is just lowering your health, which won't matter because you're already at no hit. So I intentionally got hit so I can show you that this will not affect your streak. So if you get hit by this move, that's okay, because you can keep going. See, it only drains your health. Now in phase 4, he'll shoot 3 unblockable arrows, so don't fall for it. Just watch out for the other 2. Same thing, 1, 2, 3, and then he'll give you another opportunity, block, take him in the air, and now he's going to do something else that's not opportunity, but now he is. This is the last one. Okay, and that's the end of that. Like I said, very easy and very hard at the same time. If you have Soul of Gilgamesh, you're fine. If you don't, you're screwed. So make sure you have Soul of Gilgamesh. I think you can obtain it in the sand pits, or the what is it, the dark sands, something where like you fight your clone before you face Ishtaha. I think that's where you get the Soul of Gilgamesh. So you have to fight alternate Sargon, and I think once you beat him, you get it. You get that Othra. Okay. Now, Vara, we're gonna go back to no hit. Oh shit. Wow. Okay. So Varum is very tricky, and it's the AI gets confused. So people think that the other Sargon is a big help. To me, he's not. I really don't like having alternate Sargon help me out, because he's always been a thorn in my ass. He would mess up your combo, so when he gets in the fight with you, for some weird reason, it messes up the direction of your strikes. So if Varum is on your right side and you're doing some kind of attack towards the right, and Sargon shows up, for some reason your attacks go left, so that messes up your combos. The other reason is that sometimes Varum's AI notices you, and he will teleport to you unexpectedly while he's fighting Sargon. So say you're on, the two of them are fighting in the far right corner of the map, and you're probably in the center. He notices you, he's going to hit Sargon a little bit, and he's going to teleport to you out of nowhere. So the best bet is to always stay as far away from those guys as possible. Let the alternate Sargon go down so he's not in the way. This is where Shield of Mithra becomes very useful, because Vahram is a very fast fighter. So you definitely want Shield of Mithra. Now, Menelaus is the point where you start shifting Othra surges. So in the first 4 fights, we were using Vayu's Wave and Aresh's Ray. With Menelaus, we only use one Othra surge, or we only use the Othra surge once, and that's for Soul of Gilgamesh. So replace any of the other Othra surges with Soul of Gilgamesh. But with Vahram, Vahram and regular Vahram and Darius have some really good defense that the Othra surges do not do a lot of damage, or compared to the other bosses. So I use Othra surges on these two to stop them from doing a dangerous attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to equip level 1 Othra surges. So I'm going to use Verithrogna's Smite and replace that with Aresh's Ray. I'm not going to use anything but level 1 Othra surges. Normally, when I'm doing a boss rush, when I get to Vahram, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use Verithrogna's Smite. So I'm going to, the second the game starts, I get close to him, use that Othra Surge, and then get as far away from them as possible. Since I don't have an Othra Surge to use, I'm just going to have to play it by ear. So, yeah. And remember, keep in mind what I mentioned with Orod's fight. The sets of hits, hit, dash, hit, dash. So you want to limit your attacks on Vahram to 2 or 3 sets of attacks. By the 4th one, he will, I think it's either 3rd or 4th one, he'll parry it. And then most of the time he'll do that unblockable spin move, and then he hits the ground. So limit your attacks to 2 sets or 3 sets of those hits, and then get away from him. With Vahram, you want to be careful. You want to let him come to you. You don't want to move around like a chicken when his head cut off. When he comes to you, it's a lot more relaxing. You're more calm because you know what he's going to do. Because if you're moving, he will, whatever direction your final point is before he makes his move, will determine what his next move is. Like I mentioned, placement and movement is very important for these bosses. So if you're like running across, like running back and forth, depending on Varum's distance, if you land here and his AI catches that, he'll do a different move than if you were farther away. He would do a different move than what he would if you're on this side. So best bet, stay still, and it'll make the attack more noticeable. Okay, so again, don't have any Author Surge, so I'm just going to have to improvise. But if you have an Author Surge, you use Varathragna's Smite on the very first, as the very first move. So here we go. So what I'm probably going to do is, like I said, Sargon's going to ruin everything, the other Sargon, where that Sargon's going to start by shooting him with an arrow, but sometimes it works a little slow. It messes up the whole thing because the first thing Varum's going to want to do is he's going to try and slash you, but Arash's arrow stops him from doing that, and sometimes he does it too slow. It's very weird. I'm gonna jump over him. I'm not even gonna try and parry him. I'm gonna hit him a few times, get away, let Sargon get knocked out, and then I'm going to play it by ear. My vision's are true after all. Okay, here we go. So get close, double jump. Okay, I'm gonna let him take care of it. See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm also going to set a clone there in case he does teleport over me. See. Oh, crap. I'm going to let him. He's going to teleport my way. 1, 2, uppercut, step back. Oh, shit. See what I'm talking about? That's another thing I'm talking about. You notice how I was aiming at Varum, but because Sargon came this way, I changed direction. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Alright. Now, the first thing that... Now that Sargon's knocked out, thankfully... Oh shit, hang on, let me just... sorry, I'm playing a game on my phone at the same time. Okay, now that Sargon's out of the picture, the next move that Varum's going to do is he's going to teleport behind you, and he's going to do that slash. So if you have Shield of Mithril, that's perfect. What you're going to do is you're going to do 3 sets of the attacks that I've talked about, and generally what he does after that is he reverses time. Now there is this really cool glitch with Varum, and you want to definitely keep in mind of this, where the second he does that animation of reversing time, you immediately summon your the Vayu Wave. It's very important that you do Vayu Wave because while the waves are shooting out, you can still attack them at the same time. With Varathragna's Smite, and I think almost every other Author Surge, it's one attack. And everything stops while you're doing that one attack. But with Vayu Wave, after you throw those 2 waves, you're still able to attack. So everything else slows down, but you're still able to attack. So when he reverses time, you immediately summon your Author Surge. It'll still reverse time, but you have taken so much damage from him that the time reverse thing only heals him like a little bit. Like a measly amount. So hopefully he does it this time. The video I posted on YouTube, he did not do that. And you'll if you hear me talk, you're like, okay, he's not reversing time, and hopefully it'll work this time. So he's gonna teleport behind me. 1, 2, 3, and then use the Vayu Wave. Okay, now you see I took like a huge amount. Okay, so once he reverses time, there are 3 hits that I'd cycle through, one or the other. The first one, what he's doing, he's on my left side, so he's either gonna hit me with one of those red waves that you can block. Or if he's on the left side, or he's gonna summon those 3 circles. You will just want jump, double jump, dash behind him. If he's on my right side, then what he's going to do is the spin move, the unblockable spin slash move. Just either dash one way or the other. Most likely you'll miss it regardless. So he's on my left side, so probably what he's going to do is either the wave attack or the 3 circles. So those are the 2 options that he's going to do. Okay, and notice I'm not moving towards him. I'm letting him come to me. What he's probably going to do is he's going to probably teleport behind me, or he's going to summon those 3 circles. It really depends. Just stay still, let him make the move. All right, don't get too greedy. So this should take him into phase 3. Okay, he's in the final phase. Now what he's going to do, he's going to do the blitz. So he's going to dash really quick, and then he's going to hit you. That one's pretty easy. It's his next move that becomes very dangerous. So what he's going to do is he's going to do a slow power kind of slash, where his sword will shine white, meaning that it's a blockable attack. However, it's delayed. The attack is delayed. If you block too early, he will hit you, and this is a very dangerous move. And you also do not want to dodge it, because if he doesn't make contact with you, he will go in the air. So he'll do one, and then he'll do another one overhead. Honestly, I don't know if he does a third one or not. I haven't seen it. I haven't tried it, but I know for a fact he does 2. You have to wait at the very last moment, and then you block. So he's going to blitz, and then he's going to do that delayed strike. So hit, dash back, and see, it's very fast. You have to hit it at the perfect time. If you do it too early, you die. If you do it too late, you die. I'm not too worried as long as you maintain that script that I talked about. So as long as you maintain the script of keeping your distance, let Sargon go down. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The AI gets confused. So you saw it. I was on the far left, and Sargon was fighting him on the far right. And for some reason, he teleported to me. That will happen. That's why I say get as far away so that the AI does not notice you. Apparently, I wasn't far enough. There is a certain limit to where you're standing that if you're too far, he won't even bother fighting you until the other Sargon's knocked out. That will happen. So that's why I have that teleporting clone as a backup. And like I said, and he's going to teleport here. Oh shit. Okay, that's okay. It worked. Okay, remember, same thing. He's going to teleport behind me. So 1, 2, 3, and see, most of the time he does stop time, but this time he didn't do it. That's fine. We just keep going. Once he does the the Super Saiyan shit, that's when it becomes more. It'll become less random. That's when we know he's going to do the blitz, slow strike. We know he's going to do that after he does the initiate phase 3. So, but for now, he did not slow time, so we did not get all those extra hits on him, so we just have to play it safe. But generally, if you have Shield of Mithra and you hit him so many times that he reverses time, he will reverse time like 70 or 80% of the time. This time we didn't get lucky. That's okay. We keep going. Wait for him. Okay. Ooh, okay. Back up. I love this man. He should go to phase 3 now. Alright, watch out for that blitz attack. Now he's going to do the... Okay, now he's going to do, for this last part, he's going to do 1 of 3 hits. If he summons the 5 circles, if you stand completely still, all you gotta do is double jump in the air and summon your pocket, the portal pocket. You will be right dead center of the circles. Now, I am a little unsure because my Sargon is still dashing a little backwards, so the placement might be a little bit off. But generally, if you do 1 dash behind at this stage in his health, at the stage of Varum's health, if he summons the 5 circles, all you gotta do is stay in place, double jump, and then summon a portal, a pocket portal, and you should be in that open space in the middle of those 5 circles. So I think it's 2 on top and 3 at the bottom, or 2 on the bottom and 3 at the top. I can't remember, but you just stay in that center. The other move is the tic-tac-toe, the lines that go across the screen. This one is a lot slower than the Ascended Varum, so just find the spot and you'll be fine. The final attack he may or may not do is the circle where everything slows down. Stand on the edge of the circle so he teleports to you and then he strikes you. Shield of Mithra comes up, hit him a bunch of times. He will reverse time at that point. So when it looks like he's about to die, he will reverse time, and you just do the same thing. You use Value's Wave, stops him, and then hopefully by then you've done enough damage that it doesn't actually restart time. So just watch out for that. So tic-tac-toe, double jump, summon a portal, 5 circles, double jump, summon a portal, and that's... dash back. He's going to... Oh, okay. He didn't do it. Perfect. Alright. Varum is very tricky. But as long as you stay away from him at the first phase. The first phase is the most annoying part. I'm just going to be flat out. That's the worst part. If you can get over phase 1, the rest becomes a cakewalk. Alright, now King Darius is a lot of air movements. So the first phase are his basic attacks. He's in his ice phase. When you close the gap, he's got 2 melee attacks or close quarter attacks. He's either going to stomp on you, which is a standard block time, or he does the slow sword hit. He does 2 sword hits. Both of them are slow, and both of them have a delay, just like the Varum, the charge and then the slash. Both of them are delayed. So in phase 1, I should by Varum's fight, I should have, depending on if I use the author surge at the very end or not, but I should have maxed out my author buildup. So because the attacks that he does are so slow, the timing is so difficult, especially if you're hitting him while in the air, that I don't even try to risk it. I just immediately, the second I see him trying to hit me, I summon an author surge. I stop him from using it. And generally, if you keep the pressure and you keep attacking him, phase 1 should be over within less than 10 seconds. So phase 1 is very quick, but it's also very tricky. So let's go ahead, no hit. So when you close the gap, I want him to close the gap because at least this way his attacks are blockable, unlike his other attacks which are not blockable. So I intentionally closed the gap with phase 1 of King Darius. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, block, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, block. Oh, so that's, like I said, it's got a standard block period or block time. Now, the next thing he's going to do to get to phase 3 is going to burn the floor, so automatically we have to go up in the air. So he's going to burn the floor, double jump. See, okay, that's another problem. Don't ever grab onto him when he's going sideways. For some reason, Sargon, when he does the sash thing, he grabs onto Darius and not those things that you're supposed to grab onto. So that's happened so many times. I keep forgetting. What you want to do is after he goes angled and then sideways, rather than trying to restart and use your sash, this is the moment where you waste your arrows. Because you want him to go to the center before you grab something so you don't accidentally grab onto Darius and he kills you. So just watch out for that. Now we're going to redo this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I count the number of attacks because it helps me count on how long it'll take before he'll do an attack. I can't see the time, so I don't know if it was under 10 seconds or not. Same thing, he's burning the floor. What the fuck? That's alright. It's alright. Okay, same shit. 1, 2, jump in the air because 4 royal stars is good. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. Goes into phase 2. Shoot some arrows. Okay, now you're good. And alright, so at this point, when the second he picks his sword up from the ground, since you are in this proximity, what he's going to do is he's going to smash the ground. Again, that's got a pretty normal time speed for parrying it. So when you're in that shield of Mithra, I think at that point you can get 3. You can get 3 sets. So hit, dash, hit, dash, hit, dash. From there, at that point, if you're still on the ground, which I want you to be on the ground, what he's going to do is he's going to do an overhead strike with his sword. Block that, close the gap, keep hitting him. If you're sitting like right next to him, that second move where he kind of hits with that unblockable fire strike, that will miss you. That'll go over your head. So I hit the floor. I'm going to do 2 sets of hit attacks. He's going to smash the ground. Shield of Mithra pops up. I do 3 sets of attacks. And then he hits over with the sword. I close the gap, hit him as many times as I can. He jumps over me, misses that strike, and that should be the end of that segment. Now, depending on where he's at health-wise from all of these attacks, he might either go immediately into the final phase, or what he does is that the yellow eyes, so he's going to go up in the air, he's going to strike down, the floor's going to burn the purple fire, and then you just got to, do that. So, I'm going to do 2 sets of attacks, hits the floor, 3 sets of attacks, sword, close the gap. He's gonna go over me. Oh, fuck. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Block, close the gap. Oh shit. I fucked up. I went under him. I wasn't supposed to dash under him. Because if you go on the other side, he'll change up his move. He'll summon that fireball of bullshit. So just watch out for that. Do not dash under him. Just close the gap. Alright. What I like to do is I like to hit him because there is enough time. Dash up. Dash up again. Remember, use those arrows wisely. 1, 2, block, 1, dash, 2, dash, 3. Block, 1, 2. Goes over, and I think, yeah, he does that. Now, okay, so one thing I learned that's very useful is, okay, so these these like rushes are actually a lot harder than the standard. When the floor is purple, he's more homing than when it's just regular red. So you definitely want to watch out. What I do is once he goes up in the air, instead of using my sash to grab these 3 circles, I sash onto him and I double jump from that point so I'm over his range of attack. and then the third one he'll aim at a corner, and that's the last one before you can, his eyes turn yellow. So what I'm going to do is jump over him, okay? Parry. So he's gonna go into phase 3 now. What I'm doing right now is I'm summoning a clone, because I think you guys know which one that is, where he jumps in the air and he summons a big ring of fire, a circle, and if you get caught in one of the 4 corners, first off, you don't want to be in that position, because that is a very dangerous spot. So in the event that he's on the far left side, I teleport to the right side so that I miss that circle of fire. However, in the event that that doesn't happen and you end up being in one of the 4 spots of the ring of fire, that is when your arrows become extremely necessary, because in order to stay in that pocket, you have to just spam the triangle button so that he stays in the air as long as possible. Now, he's in the corner. He's either going to do one of 2 attacks. He's either going to do the same thing where he sets the floor on fire and then he's in the air and he's doing those dashes. The other one is he sets the floor on fire and then he immediately freezes it and the spikes shoot out. So you just want to stay being in the air. From there, it's rarely random, so we'll just have to watch out for it, because he's either going to do the ring of fire or he's going to, depending on his health, he might set the floor on fire. He might do a multitude of things. At this point, he's getting really desperate, so watch out. Whew, okay. So you see those lines? You want to be, if you get caught in the ring of fire, you gotta spam your arrows. Now this is the final stage. Same thing. Double jump away from him so that away from his range of attack, and this should be the end. In the case that it's not, which it shouldn't be, but if he is, he will be injured, so you just hit him until he's dead. Okay, last one. Now, the hardest part about Ascended Vara is the tic-tac-toe part, because it's really fast and there's 3 of them. I've tried to, so what I've tried to do, I've tried a multitude of things. So when he usually summons the tic-tac-toe attacks either after phase 1. So the move where he goes across the screen and you can call them shadow clones, they strike down. The second if you use a sash on him to pull yourself up, double jump, set up a clone at the very top of the map, chances are you will have to fight him, you will have to encounter the tic-tac-toe move. You can either, what I did the very first time, it's really iffy because that depends if you're able to get up there before he summons the tic-tac-toe attack, and that's very random. So you are up there and you just shoot arrows. You spend as much time as you can in the air, so shoot as many arrows as you can, because higher up the lines are farther spaced out, so waste enough time until all 3 sections are out of the way, and then you come back down, but by then you'll probably miss the yellow eye parry move. The other move, so one thing you want to notice is, like I mentioned in all the other fights, where you're standing is very important. Placement is key in all these boss fights. The tic-tac-toe, the lines are pinpointed at you. So if you are in a specific spot, the lines get smaller at where you're standing. So they get farther, the lines are spaced out the farther they are from you. So what I do is I set a clone on one end, and so if he does use the tic-tac-toe move, I teleport to my clone. That way it's on the corner, it's away from me, and the lines are separated, so I have enough time to get out of the way. Now, the first phase, what he's going to do, the very first move every time, is he's going to get in the center of the map, and he's going to have those like mini balls, those yellow orbs. He shoots them out 3 times. So he does 1, 2, and 3. Now the first set of balls, you want to first off, you want to be directly below his feet. The first one, you pocket the ball. The second one's going to miss you entirely, so stay completely still. The third one, you can either move slightly to the left or right and just not encounter that, or you can be on the offensive and understand the timing of when those balls move. So if on the third set of those balls, you jump up, block the one, latch onto him, get to the same level as Varum, shoot him with that orb that you pocketed, and then just strike him until he moves on to the next set. So in phase 1, Varum's got, I think, he's got 4 different types of attacks. No, I'm sorry, 5. So the first one is going to be the mini orbs. The second one is going to be where he has those 2 giant orbs homing in on you, but very slowly. The third one is where he's in the corner of the map and he shoots that like giant fire, the line of fire, which you can either get behind him or waste time in the air by shooting him with arrows. The fourth attack, or the fourth mode, is those 3 knives that are pointing down, and the other one that's pointing sideways. And then the last one is where he's in the center of the map and he's in that little meditating mode and he's inside that bubble and the ring of fire closes in on you. I try not to get at that point because that means I'm taking too long. But once he gets through all 5 of those attacks, he will recycle and do the same thing until he's defeated in phase 1, and then you go to phase 2. Alright, so remember, oh shit, that's right, okay. After Menelaus, regular Varum and Darius have been using weaker Author Surges, but for Ascended Varum, you only need 1 and 1 only. You can use 2, but the only one that's important is Bahamut's Rage. And I will use it in phase 3, and I'll let you know when and why I'm about to use it. The other one, I'm going to use Soul of Gilgamesh if a situation arises, which, I mean, I don't have as fast reflexes as the AI, so I so far haven't used it yet, but should the need come where I need to make quick dashes, I will use Soul of Gilgamesh, but really I won't use it because I'll be saving it all up until phase 3 that I can use Bahamut's Rage. Okay, Boss Revenge. We're going down. It's the last one. No hit. Okay. Ow. First thing he's going to do, center of the map, 3 waves of those tiny orbs. Pocket the first one, miss the second one, block the third one, or dodge it, whichever one. And sometimes you might even just miss it. Do a couple of airstrikes. That's the second attack. Go behind him on this one. He's probably going to... Oh, no, he's going to do that. Now he's going to... Oh, shit, he missed. He didn't do the sitting in the center and the 2 big giant orbs attack you. That's okay. This is the end anyways. Alright, once I defeat that black coal heart thing, he's going to go into phase 2. Phase 2, the first thing he, like 99% of the time does, actually I don't know what I'm saying. The first thing he does in phase 2 almost, I think, every time is he will do the basic attacks where he'll hit, teleport, and do that circle move, but like on a bigger scale. I don't dodge those first 2 hits because they come at a downwards angle, and just like Menelaus's arrows, timing is very important on when you slide under them. You do too early, you die. You do too late, you die. So it's a lot safer to block, And the Void Blade is very handy because when he gets parried, he's going to fly back, so you won't be able to chase him. So it's best to just do little hits, hit him with that Void Blade, because the next move he's going to do is going to come from the other side. And then the third move, he changes it every now and then. He might do the circle flip, he might not. We'll find out. I have hair on my mustache sticking out and it's tickling my nose. Oh man. I don't have scissors. I don't have scissors to trim him right now. Okay. So hit, Vorpal Blade or Void Blade hit. He's gonna jump over me. Now this is the point where I put a clone here, because he's gonna use it right now. Teleport to it. You see it's farther apart. And that's why we have the teleport at the corner, for this exact reason. He generally won't go back and do that move until he's used every other move in his palette. So fortunately he got rid of that earlier on in the fight, so we won't have to deal with it in the second phase. He might do it in the final phase, but it depends. I mean, it won't matter much because you're a lot faster in the final phase, so you'll be able to have more time to react to those. But for now, I think we don't have to deal with it. Okay. Now I'm going to set up a clone here. Teleport to it. Okay, same. He's recycling. Oh shit. Block. Hit him. And that's over. Now, phase 3, very simple. It is probably the easiest, and it's all because of Soul of Bahamut's Rage. What he's going to do, the first attack he's going to do is summon his clone. They're going to be on opposite ends, and they're going to throw those tiny orbs at you. From there, what you want to do is immediately when his other clone is summoned, because the other clone will take the same amount of damage, so if you're hitting them at the same time, it doubles the amount of damage he takes. So if you stay dead center in the map, and those two show up, use your Bahamut's Rage, it'll take like 90% of his health. Once that's done, I'm more used to the left side. I haven't tried the right side. But once that's done, you immediately sprint to the far end. Like I said, placement and timing is everything. The balls, the orbs, track your location where you're standing. So if you're standing in the center, the direction of the orbs are different than if you were at the far end. And I'm talking like you have to be hugging the wall, not an inch away from it, straight up hugging, because there's going to be one orb that's going to be, it's going to like almost touch you, but it's not going to. And if you're not hugging the wall, it will hit you and you will die. So you have to make sure you're hugging the wall the sec after you use Bahamut's Rage. Once those orbs are done, his clone from the right side is going to disappear, which is why I'm on the left side. And then I do a couple of hits, phase 3 is out, we go to phase 4. So, Bahamut's Rage. We're about to finish up 1 minute and 30, so we're at 1 hour and 23, 1 hour 24, I'm sorry. So wait for it. Okay, use it. And this takes like 90% of his health. Now run immediately to the corner, crouch. This is the one, that one. He misses. Latch onto him. Phase 3 is done. Phase 4 is easy, just do not choke. Okay, phase 4 is weird. He does some kind of like taunt, not really a taunt, but he just stays there for like a second. Use your sash, close the gap, and just hit him a bunch of times. The move he's most likely going to do is he's going to do those basic attacks that he did in phase 2. Those, because you're exalted or you've gone Super Saiyan, it completely stops that streak. So you can he just go to town. He won't teleport again because you cut off that streak because you're overpowered. So just give him the business. Like I mentioned, his attacks are... they won't make much of a difference when you're in this mode because you're a lot faster. So your reaction time or your movement speed is a lot faster. So most of the time you'll miss. I choked one time and he was doing the basic attack and I blocked too early. I choked, but as long as you stay still and wait for him to make that move, you should be fine. Okay, remember, sash, boom, boom, boom. Oh shit, okay, he's starting early with this. Like I said, you're a lot faster. And also this, the second he tries to do a melee attack, just use Bamlut's Rage and it's game over. Okay, this is the one I'm talking about. You set a clone up here, waste your arrows. Okay, this one is tricky. So it's kind of like hopscotch. So he's gonna start out with one being dead in the center, two being on the side, one being dead in the center, two being on the side, and then the real one pops up in the center, and then he does that circle move. So we just did center, side, center, and then he did the side again. This is the fourth attack. The last one, he's going to come from the center. The real version is going to come from the center. He's going to do a twirl. Ooh, I jumped a little too early. And I think this is it. Yeah, that's it. And finished him off. And we did it in under an hour and 30 seconds. Alright. So, this is the easiest form. I'm not gonna lie. This is very challenging, even with the scripts, and the reason is many things. Placement. If you're not in the right spot at the perfect time, the enemy will change their attack pattern. Mental Ice is another one. Those arrows can mess up the whole streak. Really, it'll take a lot of time. This took me about a month of studying. There are two YouTubers that I watched. I don't remember their names, but one of them actually did this, the no hit boss rush. The other one he did this one like 4 months ago. He did the entire story mode without taking a single hit, and he also did talk through it. So he was very helpful, but some of the things I figured on my own, I figured out it worked better for me. So this did, even after a month where I kind of understood the patterns, I was still fucking up. And it took me until last Saturday to actually finally do this achievement, even with the script that I had built up. When did this update come out? Like May or something? And we're at the end of June. So that's how long it took me. Was it like a month and a half or something? So I'm not gonna lie. This is a pretty hard thing to do. But with this script, I'm gonna post this on YouTube because for some reason Twitch deletes or expires. All the videos get expired for some reason. So I am going to save this on YouTube so that people can watch it. I'm going to share it on Reddit because there is a Prince of Persia subreddit on Reddit. As long as you follow those tactics that I've shown before you, they will shuffle through attacks. You just have to get used to what the telltale signs of specific attacks are, and it'll make things way easier. But the pattern, the placement, the timing, the type of hits, and when to use auto surges, amulets, all of that are very crucial. As long as you maintain to this script exactly, you will see success. Now, if you don't want to get frustrated and if you have the patience for it, what I recommend is you going to boss revenge. Fight the bosses separately, like get like 5 victories in a row before you move on to the next boss. Because if you get 5, that assures that your victory percentage is consistent and successful. If you're winning, losing, or winning, losing, winning, losing, that's not consistent, because that shows that if the boss changes the script, you're not going to have a backup plan. So it's very important that you practice this. Be consistent, so win like 5 victories in a row, and then you'll be ready to try out boss rush. Or if you want to just say fuck it and then just play by ear and just figure it out as you go along, you can do that as well. But that's just you're gonna make the same mistake I did, where you're gonna be spending a whole month fighting the first 3 bosses for like 3 weeks until you figure out their pattern, and then you fight the next 3 bosses and it'll take you another 3 weeks to understand their pattern, and then you'll finally get somewhere after 6 weeks. So just, practice a lot, but that is officially the end. That is the how-to tutorial in depth. This is an hour and 30 minutes video. It definitely is a lot to take in, but I had a lot of people tell me that the last video wasn't a tutorial, it was just you screen recording, and like I mentioned before, I was like 30 minutes to an hour in that stream, and every time I had to do it again, I had to talk. So I was getting very tired of talking so much. So at that stream, I gave up on talking, and also it was also very hard to talk and play at the same time. And I didn't want to press start and go over it and then resume if I was going to lose. So it was just going to be a waste of time and breath and energy, so I didn't talk as much. But hopefully this was as concise as it can possibly be, and helpful in any way. But that's how you do it. Let me know if it was helpful, or if you've seen progress. You might not be able to finish the boss rush, but you may have successfully gotten used to a specific boss that you've been stuck on. Hopefully, if you see progress with it, let me know. That'll be awesome. Start from here. Okay, so I already did the new update, the challenges and stuff. I really hated them. They were very difficult, and I do not want to do them again. I do love the story mode. If you probably read from the title, I am Persian. The lore that they've used is very beautiful, and it got me really excited for the game. So I will go into depth about the Persian lore, the Simorgh, all of those mythological creatures, and basically everything that you see in this game is based off of just Persian literature. There's almost nothing about this game that's made up. Some things here and there, like 5% of the stuff in this game is made up, but for the most part, they've done a really good job on research. Not a lot of media in the West, other than the movie 300 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Media doesn't really cover Persian literature, mythos that well. So the fact that Ubisoft did this so beautifully is awesome, because the previous games, honestly, they did not do that. There were a few things here and there, but for the most part, it was just a hack and slash game. No problem, that was a fun game. Those are fun games. But they didn't really dive into the beauty of Persian literature and mythos and all that stuff. So I will go into this. I really love this game. I'm going to be honest, when it first came out, I actually hated the art route that they went to. And truth be told, the main character, if you know Persians, there is a region in the south where they're African descendant, but that's a very small, minute percentage of characters. And it also didn't help out that he looks like Miles Morales. So I was very offended by the way they went with Sargon artistically. But overall, that's the only qualm I have with this game. Overall, this game is very beautiful, and so I will be going over the story mode for like the 6th or 7th time, but I will be talking through it more often. This will probably be like a 2-3 day venture, but that's in the future. I have some other games to play. Resident Evil, if you guys are into horror games, or Gotham Knights, I just got that, so if you're into DC superhero stuff, I'll be doing that as well. But yeah, I've taken enough time. That was it. If you guys have any questions, go to the YouTube video. Same name, Peter Piper 24/7. That's my username. Just comment down below. Go to Reddit, comment. I'm very new to Twitch, so I don't know if you can send DMs, like private DMs, asking questions, or if you want to come to the next live stream and ask those questions. But yeah, you can reach me anywhere if you need help. But other than that, it was great going on this adventure, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Actually, before I go, let me save it. I don't know why I'm saving it, but I'm saving it. You can never be too sure. That's strange. Fireball's not supposed to have shit. What are you doing? Nothing to sell? Okay, just a glitch. I'm really curious as to what that new update's about. I don't know if they're fixing bugs or if they've added something. Because the story mode or the story DLC isn't until September, so we shouldn't be getting a new content until then. Alright guys, y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all next time.